Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's your boy Smokester here, back at you with another video. And today we are on West Craven MX by the man Fluke Creations. Now, in his description for this video, he said, "Welcome to West Craven MX in Vanceboro, North Carolina. Welcome to the best sand track I have ever ridden in person. He has made this track to have a lot of line choices, bumps, rollers, and jumps." He said, "From the deep ruts to the big berms, you can hold the throttle wide open off of everything. Practicing for an ARL race? No problem. He's got you covered with this track." Now, this track does have lots of line choices. It is rough with the bumps and the rollers, and you essentially jump through it like it's a sand track. But in his description, he stated it was a sand track IRL. In the game, it does have soft soil. It's not sand. So it looks like sand, and it rides like sand, except for the, actual sand being on the track slowing you down. But it is very flowy, very fast, and there is lots of line choices for sure. So I've ripped probably 3 laps prior to recording this video, and I've had a blast. I absolutely love this track, man. And the visuals are very good, like what he did with the trees and some of them being slanted, and just overall you get the whole vibe of being at this track, you know what I mean? So I really enjoy it. I think he did an amazing job on it, and it is a very fast track, and these ruts hold you very well. Like, you're able to go into them fast, lean the bike over, and just hug them like that. Like, just did an amazing job. But it is a Fluke track at the end of the day, so we knew it was going to be good, you know what I mean? Fluke's tracks are always good. They always ride really well, and personally, I really enjoy Fluke's tracks, man. I really do. I'm wondering what he's going to do coming up with this Supercross season. His Supercross tracks have been really good over the last 6 months, and I hope he drops another one of those, because I enjoy riding his Supercross tracks. I forget what the name of the compound was. There was a compound he released. I think it was like Up North or something like that. It had 2 Supercross tracks on it. And both of those Supercross tracks I spent a lot of time on. I had an absolute blast on those tracks. So waiting for the next Fluke Supercross track, if you hear me, Fluke. But yeah, overall, like I said, it's not sand soil, it's soft soil in the game. But I like that design choice. I think that the track rides better because of it. I think if it was to go and have sand, I think it might slow the track down a little bit too much. I really just enjoy the way this track rides as is. So now, I was going to touch on the Beta 19 preview bikes a little bit. So I didn't do a video on them yet, and I don't know if I'm going to. But a couple of the things that I noticed when I was riding them is they're overall, they're different. They're new, so they're going to feel different. Every time I've ridden a Beta preview bike, the bike is completely different from what we have in the game, and it feels weird, right? So that part I'm not even talking about, because no matter what, we're going to have to get used to them, and if you play the game, you're going to end up getting used to them. So the part that I'm worried about the most, and I have been worried about the most over the last however long since we started having this conversation, is the fact that I was worried that it was going to make some paid tracks unplayable. You know what I mean? With the free tracks, it's one thing, because they're free, but at this point people have invested a lot of money into paid tracks, and I don't want the beta to slow the game down so much to where some of those tracks are essentially unplayable. You know what I mean? And after riding the 250 yesterday for the beta preview, I rode it for about an hour and a half. And in that hour and a half, I noticed a lot of things. So you do get to steer with the rear wheel when it's sliding out, and it is definitely there are bikes that definitely pay. How do you say it? They benefit you for being able to have throttle control, right? So the smoother you are with the throttle, the more you're gonna like these bikes, I feel like. But they slowed them down. So the 250s are much slower than what we have in the game currently, right? And I took them to Graveyard, and there's that big tabletop after the finish. And normally on a 250 fourth gear pinned, you're clearing the tabletop, no problem. And on the track yesterday, I was fifth gear pinned wide open, and I was still casing the tabletop on the 250. So I was like, man, like, it's really a rough place. I feel like if they just sped the 250s up, like, they don't need to be as fast as they are now, but I do feel like the 250s need to be sped up just a little bit, because a lot of the big jumps that I thought of that I went to try to clear on the new 250, I was casing full speed. So I feel like if they sped them up just a little bit, it would make them slower than they currently are, but yet also still compatible with all the tracks that people have paid money for. And I'll tell you what, I don't think anybody can clear Larocco's Leap on the new Redbud on the OEM preview bikes for the 250. I don't think there's a single person that can do it. I think it completely made that jump obsolete for the 250s. Now, I'm gonna have to go test that theory, right? But just from my time on them, that's how I feel. And I really hope that they find a good balance with the speed on them, because as far as everything else that they've changed, you'll get used to it after you play with them enough. But the speed is one thing that, you know, skill isn't. Like, the bike can only go so fast. So with that being said, I really just feel like they need to bump that speed up just a little bit. And it sounded like a couple people that I talked to about them agreed with that. So hopefully they do that, man. I'm hoping they don't release them as is, because there's just not enough speed there with the bikes to be able to do all the big jumps on a lot of the paid tracks. And from a lot of the people I was talking to, they also said the 450 needs a little bit more power. Now, I haven't tested out the 450 yet. I am going to do that when I get some time. But obviously, there's enough content creators that you guys are covered on the beta preview bikes. I mean, I'm pretty sure Linz and everybody has already released a video talking about them. So if you're curious about any of that, man, definitely go check out Reaper Doc, Linz, Troy Jan, any of them guys, and I'm sure that they will have you covered with information regarding that. But that was just my concerns on the beta bikes and how I felt about them and what I was worried about and what actually ended up happening, because a lot of the stuff I was worried about actually ended up happening with those bikes. So, but this is West Craven MX by the man Fluke Creations, and it is on the MX Bike Shop right now for $1. Definitely worth it. I mean, he put his time in on this track. It rides very well. It flows well. The ruts hold you well. It's very fast. It's fun. Just all above everything that you would want checked in a track this has. So for $1, it's a no-brainer. I would definitely say go get it. I've been having a blast on this track, so I'm gonna be looking for servers and seeing if we can't hop in a couple races on this track, man. Maybe we'll throw it up in the stream Wednesday night, because I'm curious to see if I can win a race on this track, man. I really enjoy the fact that it's soft soil for real. So, but other than that, the link to the Discord is in the description of the video. We have a giveaway live right now for Mouse's new track. And make sure you guys hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and comment down below what you think about this track. I will see you guys next time, man. Peace.